Hi, I'm Jaqueline P'ng and this is Evening Highlights. The weak September U.S. jobs report has pushed back expectations of a rate hike. That's led foreign investors back to Asian equities, and Standard Chartered says Malaysia is among the biggest beneficiaries. Standard Chartered tracks equity flows in Thailand, the Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, India, Taiwan, and South Korea. It says foreign investors pulled $27 billion out of these 7 markets between June and September 2015. And the 3 countries that saw the biggest outflows were Malaysia, Taiwan, and Indonesia. But with the shift in risk sentiment, inflows are coming in to the tune of $2.3 billion. Now, these 3 markets are attracting the biggest inflows. And with these inflows, we're also seeing a rally in currencies. Zeroing in on Malaysia, where Standard Chartered uses ETF flows as a proxy for equity flows, it says the country has the strongest relationship between equity flows and foreign exchange returns. It notes that although the appreciation in the ringgit suggests a degree of short covering, but the rally was supported by strong inflows. According to exchange report figures, foreign investors net sold $6.3 billion worth of Malaysian equities since September 2014. But there was a strong reversal of the trend during the week of October 5th. The ringgit has been the worst performing currency in Asia so far this year, down some 20% against the US dollar. It ended trading hours today at 4.1213. Top Glove is on a roll. Its 4th quarter net profit more than doubled from the previous corresponding quarter. That's thanks to its cost efficiency efforts, a stronger US dollar, and weaker raw material prices. Top Glove already registered a record high in earnings in the 3rd quarter of FY15. 3 months later, it managed to beat it. The glove maker says its last quarter for FY15 surged some 123%, while revenue was up 23%. For the full year, it posted a 55% jump in net profit to 280 million ringgit. Revenue for the period rose about 10%. Top Glove declared a 12-cent dividend for the current quarter under review. This brings its full-year dividend to 20 cents a share. It has also proposed a bonus issue of up to 630.69 million on the basis of 1-for-1. Mah Sing wants the government to reinstate a controversial property financing scheme to aid genuine first-time home buyers. The Developer Interest Bearing Scheme, or DIBS, was banned in 2013, but the developer says there is a real need for the scheme. The DIBS was taken off the table because some developers were actually pricing in the interest rate and artificially inflating the home prices. It also encouraged property flipping and spelled potential trouble for buyers who were responsible for the home loans signed under the sales and purchase agreement, which meant that they would be in trouble should the project be delayed or abandoned. But Mah Sing argues that there is still a case for the DIBS. It says this would make it easier for first-time buyers to own a home, in line with the government's aim to encourage home ownership in this segment. This is because the would-be purchasers would be able to lock in properties at current prices. It also wants the government to review the real property gain tax and to relax lending requirements for first-time home buyers, as well as those looking to upgrade to a larger second home to house their growing families. Mah Sing says these moves would stimulate the property industry, which would have a larger multiplier effect on the wider economy compared with other industries. The property scene has been quiet recently as Malaysians hold back on buying homes. In the first half of this year, property sales fell 9% compared with the same period last year. 3rd quarter sales at Ford Malaysia are down 27% year-on-year. The American automaker sold nearly 2,700 units in the 3rd quarter of 2015, compared with almost 3,700 in the last corresponding period. Quarter-on-quarter though, sales are up 34% thanks to demand for the Ranger and Fiesta. Ford Malaysia sold nearly 2,700 vehicles in the July to September period. The Ranger pickup was the most popular with almost 2,000 units sold. Second in sales, the Fiesta hatchback. The Ranger is Ford's best-selling nameplate in Malaysia. Sales of the vehicle have reached 6,814 units so far this year. And the new Ranger, which was launched last Friday, is expected to give an extra boost to overall sales. Never mind the GST and the soaring cost of living. Young Malaysian adults are out to spend and they're living close to their financial edge. According to the Asian Institute of Finance, many millennials here are living beyond their means as they succumb to impulse spending. It's not just happening in Malaysia, but it's still a concern. Despite being the most educated generation to date, Malaysia's Gen Y are under financial stress. Asian Institute of Finance's latest survey shows they are accumulating debt at an earlier age compared with the previous generations. 75% have at least one source of long-term debt. That means car loans, education loans, or mortgages. And 37% have more than one. To offset this debt, they are turning to personal loans and credit cards. And of those who are reliant on plastic, 70% tend to pay the minimum monthly payment, while nearly half don't always make timely payments. As a result, many millennials are staying in credit card debt much longer than they ever intended. And that's a wrap for this edition of the Evening Highlights. I'm Jaqueline P'ng. Thank you for watching.